This Torah class is brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.
Good morning, everyone. Shalom Aleichem, Bruchim Habayim. Parshas Vayishlach. Okay, like we've been doing every Friday morning, 5 electrifying Divrei Torah on Parshas Vayishlach that are available on our site, RabbiDG.com. You could subscribe and get these to your inbox if you want to print it out for Shabbos. Some exciting programming coming up. If anybody is there's a shiur for women in Passaic Monday morning. If you live in Passaic, you could see all the details on our site on the news section. Sunday morning in Passaic. Monday evening in B'nai Joseph on Ocean Parkway on Monday evening. Thursday morning, there's a Thanksgiving program in Brooklyn, Rabbi Reisman Shul. Friday morning, you could join us at the Aguda Convention. Be'ezus Hashem, there's a special shiur on tefillah. Okay, if you have an adventurous spirit, you could join us December 25th to the 29th in Turkey, which I'm sure is your favorite destination. This is actually a very special trip. With the cooperation of the ambassador, we're going to special Jewish heritage sites, Kivrei Tzadikim, and it happens to be the yard site of the Baal Smichas Chachamim. Okay, so Parshas Vayishlach. We're going to start with the English Divrei Torah, Parshas Vayishlach, and let's open it up here. Elevate your Shabbos table. Here we have. This is actually a remarkable Dvar Torah from the Chassam Sofer. The pasuk says, "Vayitzavo Yisam Leimar Koi Soimrun Ladoni LeEsav Koyamar Avdecha Yaakov Im Lavan Garti VoEchar Arata." I lived with Lavan, and I delayed until now. Rashi famously comments, "Im Lavan Garti Taryag Mitzvah Shamarti." Garti is Gematria 613. I lived with Lavan and I observed all 613 mitzvahs. As the Chassam Sofer, usually when you talk about fulfillment of mitzvahs, you say, Kiyamti, I fulfilled. What's shamarti? Shamarti means I guarded. You can only guard negative commandments, but how is shamarti appropriate for a positive? Furthermore, Yaakov Avinu did not fulfill all 613 mitzvahs. He certainly did not fulfill kibbud av va'em. However, the word shamar could also has another meaning. Meaning, the word shamar could mean to anticipate, to eagerly await. As in when Yosef HaTzadik had the dreams, the pasuk says, V'aviv shamar es hadavar. His father waited until this matter came to fruition. So shamar can mean to await. So in fact, while Yaakov did not actively fulfill all 613 mitzvahs, because he wasn't even near his parents, but Taryag mitzvah shamarti, he anticipated, he awaited, he yearned to fulfill all 613 mitzvahs. And there's a principle that if somebody thinks, Chishev lasos mitzvah, someone thinks to do a mitzvah and extenuating circumstances do not allow it, it's considered as if he actually performed the mitzvah. Okay. Amazing remez of the Bnei Yissaschar quoted in the Mayana Shel Torah, Vayava Yaakov Shalem. Yaakov came whole. Shalem is a Rashi Tevis for shame, name, lashon, language, and malbush, attire. Shalem, one's name, one's language, and one's attire. This alludes to the fact that Yaakov did not change any of his minhagei Yisrael. When Klal Yisrael were enslaved in Mitzrayim, they upheld these characteristics, which according to our Chazal, were contributed to their salvation. Okay, now I want to take you to the Ben La'ashri. Now, Baruch Hashem, this now begins year 2 of the Ben La'ashri. Actually, this is the completion of year 1, because we started last year in Vayeshev. I believe. And, if I'm not mistaken, okay, so let's take a look. No, we're not in the right place here. Okay, Parshas Vayishlach, the Benli Ashri. Okay. Vayishlach Yaakov malachim al Esav achiv arza seir sedei Edom. And the Mefarshim are troubled. Why the double language? Esav achiv. We know Esav is his brother. Why the repetition? Esav and then achiv. And then why arza seir and then sedei Edom? So there's an idea, and this is really based on the writings of the Shlach Kadosh, that Yaakov Avinu was dealing with Esav in a dual plane. He was dealing with the physical Esav, and he was dealing with Esav's angel. And to the physical Esav, he sent physical messengers. To the spiritual Esav, to Sarai Shel Esav, he sent Malachim Mamish. And this is indicated in the fact that the whole Parsha is a double lashon. El Esav achiv, Arza Seir Sedei Edom. Arza Seir, that's where Esav, the physical Esav lived. Sedei Edom, that's where Sarai Shel Esav lived. And if you look throughout the Parsha, Heitev Eitiv Imach, the entire Parsha is written in double terms, in the sense that there are two things going on. Yaakov Avinu has to face the heavenly Esav and the physical Esav. That is why, when the heavenly Esav wrestles with Yaakov Avinu and Yaakov wins, it says that he called his name Yisrael, ki sarisa im ha'alekim v'im anoshim v'atuchal. He wrestled with God and with men, and you prevailed. So Rashi says, who are the men that Yaakov wrestled with? Lavan and Esav. Now, Lavan Yaakov already interacted with, but he never interacted with Esav. How could the angel of Esav tell Yaakov that you prevailed against men? He prevailed against Lavan. He did not yet face Esav. But the answer is, once he wrestled with the spiritual Esav, with the angel of Esav, then it was already a foregone conclusion that Esav down here would fall. Basically, everything really transpires on the spiritual plane, and the physical plane is just a play out of what has already occurred. Okay, this is really a Geshmaka insight. Rashi says, I remember I was in third grade, the first Rashi I ever learned. Vayishlach Yaakov malachim, Rashi says malachim mamish. Actual malachim. As opposed to what? Not actual malachim. What exactly is Rashi getting at? So the Ben Loshvi says a very important idea. We know that when a person does a mitzvah, he creates a malach. Ha'isa mitzvah achas, boirei loy sanegar, boirei loy melitz. If somebody creates a malach, somebody does a mitzvah, they create a malach. However, obviously it depends how the person performs the mitzvah. If they perform the mitzvah fully, with Avas Hashem, with Yiras Hashem, if the person is medaktek in the details of the mitzvah, then you create a Geshmaka malach, a real malach, a full malach, a malach that's healthy and robust and has vitality. But if somebody does a shvacha mitzvah, the malach is like crippled, it's lame, it's mute, it's a nebachol malach. So the malachim that Yaakov sent to Esav, what kind of malachim are these? These are malachim created through the mitzvahs of Yaakov Avinu. So Rashi says, malachim mamish. These were mamoshestika malachim. These were not weak, shvach malachim. These were not crippled and mei malachim. These were actual, real, robust malachim created through the mitzvahs of Yaakov Avinu. One more offering. there's a big kasha here. Yaakov Avinu is very afraid in the beginning of the Parsha as he's headed back to Esav. What exactly is Yaakov afraid of? God already promised him on his way out of Israel, V'hinei anochi imach, u'shmarticha b'chol asher telech v'hashi v'yisicha el adamah ki lo yazavcha ad asher masisi es asher dibarti lach. God promised him, I'll be with you and I won't forsake you. So, and for 20 years, Yaakov is not afraid. So he's not afraid for 20 years. Why? Vasepis now, on his way back, he's afraid. God promised him, he'll take care of him. For 20 years, by Lavan, he's not afraid. And now, Dafka, he's afraid. What happened now that he's Dafka afraid? Asked Abarbanel. So the Ben Lo Ashri answers with a very important yesod. We know that Yaakov Avinu's name was changed to Yisrael. And yet in next week's Parsha, Vayishlach Yaakov b'Yeretz Megurei Aviv b'Yeretz Canaan. What do you mean Vayishlach Yaakov? It's not his name is Yisrael. Ooh, says the Ben Lo Ashri. God gave the name Yisrael. Yisrael implies spiritual prowess, a prince in Israel. Yeah, but that's only true. That's only actual if you earn it, if you deserve it. In the house of Lavan, relative to Lavan, Yaakov was a Yisrael. But in the house of Yitzchak Avinu, Yaakov Avinu did not have the same spiritual level. Namely, we know through Rashi and Bereshis, Sefer Bereshis, brings a few times, that a person is often judged based on relative to where he is. So just because Yaakov earned the title Yisrael vis-a-vis Lavan and vis-a-vis Esav, but when he's Be'eretz Megurei Aviv next to Yitzchak, he needs to live up to that title Yisrael. He's not Yisrael yet. Likewise, says the Ben Lo Ashri, that Yaakov was not afraid for 22 years because in the house of Lavan and relative to Lavan, he's okay. But now as he's headed toward Yitzchak Avinu's house, and he's going to be compared to the great tzaddik Yitzchak Avinu, now he starts getting nervous. You know, Rashi says a similar idea by the Isha Shunamis. Rashi says that when Eliyahu Hanavi came to stay there, she got nervous. She said, now I'm going to be judged compared to you. This is the idea that Rashi says in Parshas Noach. That Noach, compared to his generation, he was a tzaddik. But if he would be in the generation of Abraham, lo haya nechshav lakum. Okay, so these are 5 ideas on the Parsha. And now I want to share with you the tefillah share. Okay? So hang in there 1 second.
You've just experienced another Torah class brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.